Today we're here with Dean Shams, and Dean, you're a communications specialist.
Yes, I am.
That's great. That's great. Actually, he's written a book called Speak Smart, Make Your Mark: How to Communicate with Tact, Confidence, and Poise at Work, even in sticky situations. So the sticky situations, is this like conflict at work, communication strife? What is it?
You know, you cannot get away from conflict as long as there's two persons working together.
Yeah.
There's bound to be miscommunication
At some point in time.
At some point in time.
Whether that's email, whether that's talking to each other or over the phone.
So now the problem is this: is that a lot of these small miscommunications makes us angry or feel disempowered.
Yep.
But what do most of us do at work? We just keep quiet about it because we think that it's a small thing, will go away. But what we don't realize that it will fester and it will actually affect the interaction. Like if I have a miscommunication with you, then the next time you communicate with me or we have an interaction, I'm not going to be like very open to what you say. Even though I say, oh, what happened before was just a small thing, let's brush it up, but it fester, right?
Yep.
So what I'm trying to say in my book is that if there is a miscommunication, if you feel disempowered or if you feel slighted, it's best to just talk it out. But then again, a lot of people will say this, but you need to know how to talk it out because a lot of people talk it out and make it worse.
I see. Or they use a strategy that they've learned from some other manager or somewhere in the past, and they go, Dean, we need to deal with this situation, stop doing it.
Yeah.
I think I've had my say and I walk out, I feel great, but now you feel lousy.
Yeah.
And then you're going to fester it as well.
And then you see it in the media like, oh, this aggressive person who's pointing fingers, just like what you did to me just now.
Yeah.
No, blah, blah, blah. That's the way to get things done.
Yep.
But what I'm saying is, no, that's not the way to get it done. No matter how bad the situation is, there's always a way to communicate respectfully, to solve the situation, solve the conflict, and then move on.
So, I mean, you can't, I guess the thing is, you can get stuff done by doing this, but you're going to breed resentment, I guess, and dissatisfaction.
Yes.
So if somebody has a team that seems to be dysfunctional, or a group or their organization, there just seems to be this culture of gossip or this sort of festering dissatisfaction, I guess they can see it in measures like absenteeism or attrition,
unhappiness, disengagement,
morale is low, net promoter score is down, all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So they're going to need somebody like you to come in and show their team this is how to do it even better.
I want to tell organizations that if every single one of your executives, all the way from the bottom all the way to the top, they know how to approach different sticky situations at work and just clear it up as it happens, then everyone will come to work happier, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And presumably you're going to increase clarity,
productivity.
And then when you have one-on-ones, presumably you'll get more honesty and trust in the organization to share ideas. And as a manager, you then start to know what's really going on, so that you can help remove the obstacles and fix it.
And you create a culture of open communication.
Now you've got a model in here. Sorry, you were going to say something.
No, I mean it's very nice for a business owner or a leader to say, oh, I believe in open communication, but they may not actually be practicing open communication.
Yeah. So they know it intellectually, but they're not really doing it authentically as a human being.
Yeah.
And so you've got a model in here, the DSO or DSO model, right?
DSO, yeah.
So very briefly, so if somebody was going, well, what tip can I get from watching this today?
Okay.
What is that? What's that model do?
Okay, this DSO was designed by a psychologist.
Okay.
Right. So imagine if I'm unhappy with you. I'm your supervisor and I'm unhappy with you because you're supposed to give me a proposal yesterday, but it's still not on my table, right?
Yep.
So I could just go to you and say, Tim, you're being lazy again, you're being slow again, what will happen? You're not going to be happy with me, right? So this DSO is like a framework to say, first, the D means describe. So instead of making an evaluative comment about you as a person, I'll just state the situation. I say, you're supposed to pass me the proposal yesterday, but I still haven't gotten it, so we need to speak about that.
So we're talking about, I'm not blaming the person, I'm talking about, hey, this is the facts. This is, so whether or not you're being lazy or whether, that's evaluative.
That's an opinion.
That's an opinion, So I could have been working really hard on all this other stuff. And that's why I would be getting
because I don't know your story, I can't read your mind.
So we describe the situation, and then the E.
The E is to express, because the reason why I'm going to you is because I'm feeling something, right? So this is the thing, that a lot of conversations at work don't involve feeling, but we are all human beings.
Yep.
We are all feeling creatures,
Yep.
right? Emotional creatures.
Yep.
So I can say something like, instead of being emotional, I express my emotion by saying, Tim, because you didn't, I don't have that proposal yet, I'm feeling very anxious. I can't carry on with my work because it depends on your proposal. So anxious is a feeling, right? So you know exactly what I'm feeling.
Okay, so if I was to, okay, and then the S is what?
The S is to specify. So what is it that I want you to get done?
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
So a lot of us will go to our subordinate or peers and say, I want it ASAP. ASAP is not the time.
Yeah, especially I want it ASAP, and it better be good. It's like,
Yeah, like
what the
does
heck
that
is
mean?
good?
Yeah, what's good? What's
Yeah,
good
okay.
to you is not good to me or whatever.
Yeah, and then O is
O is the outcome. So first I'll go back to specify. So specify means like, okay, I want it by the end of the work day today.
Okay.
Now that's a very specific timing. Or
Yep.
you might want to say, I want it by 5 p.m. because from 5 p.m. I need to work on it.
yep,
So it gives a very clear reasons, right?
yep.
The outcome will be
Or even give me, I need the body of it. Don't worry about the beginning and the end right now. Just give me that part with the analysis.
yeah.
You know,
yeah.
so you can say
exactly
something
what
like
you want,
that.
yeah,
Yep.
because I need that analysis for me to work on my part.
Okay.
Simple as that. Right?
Okay.
Then the O is the outcome. What will happen if you give it to me, or what will happen if you don't give it to me?
So there's some consequences.
There's consequences, right? So the outcome, I could say, if I get it, then I will be able to move on with this proposal.
Okay.
And then we can get the client off our hair. or
It's almost
whatever.
like the goal or the
The reward.
next
It's actually
step
a
on the
reward.
reward,
It's
okay.
a reward.
Okay.
Or alternatively, I can say, if you don't give it to me, then we will be sitting in our big boss office explaining to that, I don't think we want that.
Yeah.
So that's like a punishment, right?
yeah. Okay. So there's like a move away from something and move
or
towards something.
So you choose one, or you can do, it depends on how's the dynamic of
So
the
you could go in very, very quickly using this model, DESO, and we go in and we say, so, hey, you know that report, we agreed that I would have that report already by, by lunchtime, and I notice I don't have it yet, and hey, I'm feeling a little bit like worried because I got to put my stuff in
Nice,
before it goes to the
yes.
big boss.
So you're expressing your feelings? Yeah.
So where are you up to in that at the moment? Because, will it be ready by 3:30?
or you can say, can I have it by 3:30?
Or can I have it by
Or
3:30?
at that point, if they say cannot, then you do a little bit of negotiation.
Okay, so where are we at?
Expectation.
And they said, look, hey, because I may not have told you this, but you and I are both going in there to talk about this report, and I need you to talk about that part of it. And we're going in at 5.
Yeah, you
So-
nailed it. It's perfect.
Okay.
We have a framework, but you don't become very
Then we have
cartoonish, like
Yeah.
rigid, right? But because it's in your head, you just
Yeah.
structure your conversation that way.
But also it's more human. So one of the things you were
Yeah.
talking when we were chatting a little bit earlier was it's about bringing humanity back into our
Yeah,
communication.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not accusatory and
not accusatory.
and sort of domineering.
because we
It's-
are all like, we are all at our like primal state, right? It's
Wow.
always fight or flight,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, so maybe we can take that away. And if you have that tools to always express yourself clearly, concisely, and in a human way, who are you to be afraid of? No one. You can just you even go up to your big boss and you can just have a good, nice conversation in a very impactful, in a very influential way. And isn't that good for your career ladder?
Yeah, and well, obviously we're not going to use that model in that communication.
Hey,
we're
of
just going
course,
to
yeah.
going to be a human being having a chat to go, hey, how's your family or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, fantastic. So organizations bring you in to work with their teams when they're sensing that sort of dysfunction, or
Yeah, because-
or they feel like they need to increase the communication within their teams.
Especially like frontline people,
Yep.
they don't know how to be assertive,
Yep.
or the managers,
Yep.
because they've just been promoted and
Yep.
then they're now managing their friends before.
Uh-huh.
So that's going to be difficult for them to say, hey, no, I need to get this done now, that kind of thing.
So it's really helping them
Yeah.
increase their skills and be
Yeah.
able to manage.
And on
as well.
another level, if I have a disagreement with you,
Yep.
I have a framework that I can sit down with you and talk it out so that there is a productive outcome and not just talk it out for the sake of it.
So when they bring you in, does everyone get a copy of the book?
Of course they will.
Fantastic. And there's presumably a lot more models and structures and tips and everything
It's
else in
all
here.
filled packed with frameworks.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Excellent. Hey, Dean, Thanks for sharing on
Thank
this
you.
beautiful, windy day here down by the beach. Yeah, it's been great.
Thank you for interviewing me.
Man, my pleasure. My pleasure.
See you.
Okay, bye.